self, invalidate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, so just relax here. I'm just gonna pluck away first from around you, and with each gentle pull, just let something go. A responsibility, a to-do list, something that you thought you forgot. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day. Lose something every day. You do not have to keep and hold on to every little bit of energy, hoping to savor the feeling forever. Let it go. Let it have freedom. Let it have the ability to come back to you if it needs to, or for new energy to show up. I'm just gonna work through the energy right here. And just exhale, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And just let it go. I know baby's easier said than done, but I think that's the fun part of it. Do you like walking on the wild side of life? Well, if you like walking on the wild side of life, why not try letting go? Just letting go. Releasing that which is no longer serving you in this moment. Letting it go. Curiously seeing if it comes back. It might not. But release. You cannot control every part of the process. And why would you want to? You can plan. You can try to execute. But past that, it's okay. Let it become whatever it needs to be. Because when you let it become whatever it needs to be, sometimes it becomes something greater than what you could have ever intended or expected. My favorite gifts from life are those surprises. Those surprises that I never thought about. I never knew. That are never known. And yet, beauty is created. It's those moments when we are least thinking about it that there is the greatest potential in each point of the journey. So let that journey be. Just let that journey be. Let that journey be. Let that needs to be. Wherever it needs to go, let it go. Do not hold on to that which needs to be free, because you would not want something to hold on to you when you want to be free. Let's just work through this. Just in this moment, holding the space, 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 holding, 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 holding the space, holding, 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 holding the space, holding the space, check in with yourself. How do you feel, babies? Is it the head? Is it the news? Is it the do's? What are you feeling? What's coming up in the moment? What during this session are you ready to release, to let go, to send on in its evolutionary path so that you can move on from the experience, whatever that is? As you inhale, bring in stillness, and as you exhale, release, let it go. Take all that energy, send it out into the universe. Send it to go do something else, but remove it from inside of you. And you can even channel that energy into something, meaning you need motivation. You want to get something accomplished. So you take all of that energy that is moving within you and give it somewhere to go. You give it a release. So you exhale, you send it on. You infuse it into something. And that way the energy has a purpose. It doesn't feel like it's just sticking around inside of you and trapped. It can go. It can go. It can go, and it can grow somewhere else to do something better, to align with new energy where it is needed, rather than to stay in old energy where it's not. And in a nutshell, that's really how it is. Whenever you're experiencing energy within you that is stagnant or too much and you just can't seem to get rid of it or move it to where it needs to go, it's not that the energy itself is bad. Energy is vibrational in how we receive the energy and perceive the energy. Really is that why we label it good or bad. But that same energy that is no longer the calibration or the vibration that you need can be the saving grace for someone else. So we have to be able to let go of the energy. And letting go of the energy means that in your everyday life, you learn when to let go. Let go of old habits, old routines, but most importantly, letting go of old mindsets that keep you where you're at. And in between where you're at and where you're going, it is just simply walking the path. There's no way to jump ahead to it, and why would you want to? There's so much of life to live, so live it. Enjoy each footstep. Learn what you need to. Stumble and take breaks. All of that is a part of existing. Let's normalize existing. We don't have to make it something that it's not. We can understand the colorful array of emotions within all of these experiences and know that ultimately, when we look over care of yourself. And I am Jessica, also go by Jet, and you can hang out with me for a little while. So if you're new to the community, you are now one of my babies, so you get one kiss on the forehead, okay? And for all of my returning babies, multiple kisses. Mama loves you. So we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, excellent. Let's begin. May I touch you? Okay, let's begin. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, so let's just go here. Let's go here. And just begin to pull out and move and shift. So, sweetness, this is a time to work on that self-trust, to have big, bad, bold ideas, things that will move and impact or bring you balance and remind you of who you are, and being able to enjoy the moment of this life regardless of what it is. Let's work through it. Just breathe in and out here. Relax into this. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Release. So, trust in yourself. Trust that you will always have the answer you are looking for. That you'll always be able to see what needs to be seen. And renew your self-love, your self-trust, your self-forgiveness. Because sometimes when people aren't ones who really project outside of themselves, they may internalize things to the point where they want to be in control, can't control the outside. So they put unrealistic expectations on themselves on the inside. Hopefully that made sense. And I think that this time period is just a surrendering. These moments are a surrendering with a Mercury in retrograde and the Mars still best way to describe it. Not like the Cancer fear, which is there's this big bad thing out here. The Capricorn fear is like something that can't be controlled, or something that is just creating distress. You're not afraid of it, but it's just creating some type of dissonance, and that can be annoying. But not impossible. Here's the thing. Take your time. Grow. Move. Shift. Go at your own speed, your own pace, your own rhythm. There's no wrong or right answers. It's just however you want to go about doing this. And the more that you do that, the more that you start to realize that you have more power and more access to your own agency than you've ever known before. You're not expected to fit in anymore. Now it's, how do you create whatever it is important to you, whatever it is that gives you structure and stability. It's now up to you to create that. And that's a very fascinating place to be, inside of society, but also to be on the outskirts doing your own thing. I think it's all very interesting and very fitting of what's happening with the planets right now. So let's just go there. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths, and as you're breathing in, fill up all the way from the base of the spine all the way to the tip of the head. Exhale, release. Send it on. 2 more, filling all the way up. Filling it from your toes all the way to your nose. Exhale, release, let it go. And finally, one more time, filling it up in your whole body. Levitate a little bit. Then exhale and release. Let that go. Let that go. Let that go. Let the fear go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go somewhere else to deal with somebody else. But, I think more realistically, the fear will persist, but having the ability to be able to still think in a grounded way, regardless of if there's fear or not. I think that's the most important thing that we're working on here. Shifting your energy so that you desensitize the fear as opposed to amplify it or heighten it. So just working through that and moving through this. Okay. Okay. trust yourself again. So, if you're new to the community, welcome, 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 babies. This is your nightly self-care routine. A place where you can just take care of yourself. Relax. Crack open a good book. Fall asleep. Or do whatever you need to do during this time to take care of yourself. And if you're new to the community, welcome, welcome, babies. And if you're returning, welcome, welcome back. Mama loves you. Let's go ahead and get started. So we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay. May I touch you? Okay. Let's go ahead. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe. 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 Ooh. Inhale. Exhale. Let's get into it. So, I'm just going to pull away any anxiety, any doubt, anything within you that makes you feel like you are not deserving of living the life you want, of having what you want, or honestly, I think this is where most of us are at, just being able to be in a space of peace. So just pulling that out and removing that. Pulling that, pulling that, pulling that, pulling that, pulling that, pulling that. So babies, how are you? How you been? What you been up to? Okay. Let's pull this. And let's just remove this. Every day is a new reason to discover why it is so important for you to share your gifts and to just live, to be awake in yourself, in your own experience. We're all living a different experience, and all of these experiences matter. So it's time to embrace your experience as you would like to see it and enjoy the fruits of that awareness. So removing anything that makes you feel like you gotta conform to some invisible standard, baby. We don't even know what the standard is. The rules keep on changing. They change from minute to minute, year to year. Don't worry about that. Now also, you need to understand what kind of healer I am. I am cheesy at times. I'ma have a good time. We gonna get to the heart of the matter. But most importantly, I want you to feel good when you leave. So sometimes the problem that we come in with, we get some awareness that day, and sometimes it takes a couple more sessions. Baby, take your time. If anything, just relax. Have a good time. Kick your shoes off, leave when you need to leave, come back when you want to come back. It's like that. So just pulling this through. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So it is going to be okay, love. Sometimes life can make us think it is not going to be okay. I guarantee you it's going to be fine. Will there be challenges? Yes, I can guarantee there will be challenges as well. But you got this. Even if you're facing challenges, you got this. It's gonna work out. do anything, but you can't do everything. And so don't get caught up with having to be all here and there, making other people happy, trying to make yourself happy, feel like you don't know who you are. We just narrow it in here. Narrow it all the way into here, okay? Just narrow it in. You recognize or you identify what is important to you, and you make peace with the fact that that's what you like. Because that's most of the problem. Most people know what they like. They just struggle with making peace because they want people outside of them to accept them. They want this sense of certainty, but everyone just wants to belong. They want to feel a part of community. But you can find community in all kinds of places. Just know that, babies. Just know that. And last but certainly not least, on your spiritual, your energetic, your existential path, what are we doing here? Well, it aligns your soul. You work through different things. You work through all of this stuff, whether it is this lifetime or lifetimes before, or honestly, it doesn't really matter what I am saying in the way that I'm communicating my understanding of the universe. You get to decide what your understanding of the universe is. That's why in our opening prayer, I make it a point to say religions, traditions, spiritual paths, because you don't have to look at everything, the universe, the unknown, the divine, and the way that I do for us to be able to be in a collective, in a community, and support each other. So I just want to empower you to connect into your understanding, to make that decision, make changes, make advancements. And the more you get strength there, the more things just become simpler and easier, and you have more trust. And that goes ultimately to self-trust, trusting yourself. So that is how this can help. So as we have been speaking, I've been working on your energy, and you have been working on your energy, and all that is in this moment and that will ever be in this moment with you and I and all this lovely energy around us is here for your highest vibrational good. It's here for you. It's here for you. It's here for me. It's here for we. It's here for us. It's here for you. So you're never alone. You don't have to have all the answers to be on the right path. Mistakes are allowed and encouraged. You learn more from mistakes than getting it right. And you have to take responsibility for healing yourself on multiple levels. The mind, the emotions, the physical body, the mental, the belief, all of these things, the relationships you have with other people. It's a lot of work. It really is. But it is one of the best things you can do for yourself. I am a living testament. And most of that work I did on my own. Learning a little bit from here and a little bit from there. That's why I try to consolidate and just kind of give you all the things I've learned over time. And with all of this and all of my journeying and continuing to journey, because sis loves the journey, I will say this. It's gonna be okay, and you can trust yourself. You don't have to know the answers. You don't have to be whole. You don't even have to be happy to make that next step to get you on the path to where you want to go, to where you feel more whole, okay? The prerequisite is not everything has to feel good to make a decision that you want to be where you need to go. If you're on that path, the solutions you need will appear. But most important is to trust yourself. You trust yourself more than anybody. Anybody outside of you, trust yourself. The answers are always there. And the cool thing about it is it's going to take you all over. As my mom would say, all over the mulberry bush. You're going to go over here, going to go over there. It don't seem like it makes sense until you get to a certain point and you look back like, oh, all of this was interconnected, perfectly designed for you. There is no linear roadmap. It looked like this. But that helps. Every little thing, every little interaction is healing as incarnates into this body. I believe that the soul is infinite, and what's out there, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard enough to even feel like I can understand this part, right? I just feel like so small into the complexity of the universe. I don't think I'll ever be smart enough to know. But we are this soul that incarnates into this physical body, and perhaps we come back in different lifetimes and all of this. Now, everyone has their own interpretation of what this is and why we're here and what this experience is, and that is good, because you get to define why it is important for you to live and to enjoy and to learn and all of that kind of stuff. That's really important. You got to make that decision on your own. And the cool thing about it is, as a species, because y'all know I love to get into us as a species. I go down rabbit holes of nutrition and evolution all the time. As a species, we're so interesting because across all of these different cultures all around the world, we explain the divine in different ways, but there are these overlapping concepts that can be found in different places. And that makes sense, because when these different cultures interact with each other, there's also a merging of understanding too. And even when cultures are really remote, have no interactions, there's still this overlapping understanding, because we as the same species are kind of encountering similar, like, what's out there? What is the meaning of this all? And we're kind of coming to our understanding in a similar way. So I say all that to say, you can't get it wrong. Even if it's different, you can't get it wrong. It's gonna be okay. You can trust yourself, because you cannot get it wrong. You can't. You can't. If you're working towards your wholeness, you can't get it wrong. If you believe that there is something greater for you than this one moment, you can't get it wrong. Again, there will be challenges. It will be tough at times, but you can't get it wrong. Just keep going. Just take some more steps. Sometimes the fear is bigger than the actual problem. Sometimes the fear is bigger than the actual thing. And our minds are so strong that we can create the reality. That's what it's all about with this co-creation stuff. We create the reality and we materialize it, but it starts up here first and then it's physical. So if we're that strong, unconsciously, if we're in a fear state, no matter how we got there, if we're in a confusion state, no matter how we got there, we can still materialize it and attract that. So just know that it doesn't matter where you're at now. Even if you're not at the place that you want to be, in this moment, you can always make a decision to decide that's where I want to be. And give yourself time, because we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 10 years or a lifetime. You have so much time. You can't get it wrong. Think about it over time. Okay. So, I'm just gonna finish doing that and kind of just leave you with this energy, this message. You got this. You got this. Keep me filled in. I love to see when you're doing great things, that you do remove things that are no longer serving you. But you also have to create boundaries in maybe relationships, interactions that maybe are good for you, but all you have to do is actually lay some firmer boundaries down. Not everything is like, oh, you just gotta, you don't like what somebody says, so you gotta push them to the corner or something like that. It's not like that at all. Sometimes you have to give someone boundaries to give them structure so that they can treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, love. It could all be so simple, babies. It could all be so simple. So let's work on this protection first, okay? So that you have these energetic boundaries at first, so people don't fuck with your energy. And just placing it here, okay? And feel very relaxed in this moment. Feel very calm in your own sense of self. And feel very self-accepting, self-loving in this moment. It is very important that you surrender to the understanding that you are enough, that you are masterfully, that you are craftfully created and living out the life to the best that you can. And also, you gotta celebrate your successes, even small ones. So we're gonna place you here in this energetic frequency and just surround you with a sense of calm. Now you can see yourself on a field, a beautiful bed of grass, or maybe you're just kind of floating on a cloud, feeling yourself feel lighter and just letting some things go, okay? That is no longer serving you. No longer serving you, okay? And release and let that go. 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 Okay. Now we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you? Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe. 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 Okay. So let's go in with some Reiki symbols just to create the energy and the environment of protection. Okay. And just going to shift the energy in different directions as you flow in different directions. Okay. Just going to be shifting it, 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 direction that you are going towards. The direction that you are going towards, okay? Just moving this energy back and forth in your energy, balanced, fully capable of these shifts that you need, and moving in the direction that is best for you. Okay, let's move or cleanse anything that is around you that you're no longer needing, just put it away, put it in the cabinet, put it on the shelf, and remove it from your energy. Remove it from your vibrational state. Let it go. 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 Got it. Got it, got it, got it, got it. Just removing any little pieces that are making it difficult to just be in this state of mind. Breathing in peace. Exhaling anything that needs to be let go, no longer serving you. Breathing in peace. Exhaling anything that needs to be let go, that is no longer serving you. Breathing in peace and exhaling anything that needs to let go, and that is no longer serving you. Good job, babies. You are doing a fantastic job. Just continue to breathe into this space, into this energy. Breathe into this space, into this energy, into this balance, this space, this energy, 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 this balance, and this peace. Allow it to be peaceful. Allow it to be peaceful. Allow it to be peaceful. And surrender to the greatest love, greatest hope, greatest wisdom, and greatest peace, greatest love, greatest hope, greatest wisdom, and greatest peace, greatest love, greatest hope, greatest wisdom, and greatest peace, greatest love, greatest hope, greatest wisdom, and greatest peace. Peace and energy, peace and simplicity, peace in simplicity, peace and balance, peace and nurturing, peace of mind. So working on the mind here. Mawu, and all the Taurus. Please connect us to the archangels, spirit guides, animal guides, our lineage, and all of our highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us together as a community. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Well, I hope you enjoyed our session yesterday. Now we are looking at the path as a whole, allowing it to wind in and out, to shape this way and that way. So much, 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 so much goes into that, and I think that that's okay. The path looks different, but really what it is it's just like it's a new time to explore and look at new stuff. So why not? For me, the path has really been trying to live life more, trying to enjoy life more. I could really think all day, but there's so much of life to be living. I'm really, really big into goals, and I told myself, take a chill pill and just live life. But in trusting the path, it comes in many ways. Sometimes things feel a little bit scary, especially when you're at the border of something, you're like, over here. And everything in life is just an opportunity to push that border a little bit further into this unknown territory of our feelings, of our connection, of our energy, and to balance out. What I was talking about prior was letting go of the things that you had learned, that you were deeply programmed to have, and instead filling it up with your own wisdom, your own understanding, your own sense of security today from those things that you may have learned way back when. So, what is your path? 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 And we can even connect this into your passion. What gets you up in the morning? What puts a smile on your face and motivates you to do this or do that? What is your passion? Passion. Passion. So for those who don't know, let's go ahead and just open up a little bit. Creating space here. Creating an opportunity to see what it might look like, to see what it might feel like. Okay. And for those who need just a little bit more confidence in their passion, we can take this moment to open up so that you are receptive to what's coming in, what's coming in, what's coming in, what's coming in. Okay. 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 And for those who's like, I know what it is, okay, I just need this, and that to happen. So let's clear and give you the vision and the sight or the resources, the access to whatever it is that you need to make your path flow, to connect it to your passion. The path is like the road, and the passion is like the motivation that gets you on the road. Very much so hand in hand, floating in a direction. That's how I walk. That's my walking. So floating in a direction. So as I have been talking about, a Mercury retrograde in Gemini is coming up towards the end of the month. And because that's coming up, self-image, how you view yourself, how you are perceiving yourself. And because of that, it is all about mastering the mind. We know that both Gemini and Virgo are Mercury ruled. Mercury is very mental in the fact that Gemini are connecting the dots of just missing points you never thought of. And the Virgo energy is doing that really strong analysis of the information that is received in order to understand it more fully. So that's a lot of mental stuff, a lot of mind power. But what's learned in the mind is that really you can do whatever, there are some limits, don't get me wrong, but you can pretty much do whatever. There's so much that a person can't do simply because they mentally tell themselves they're too old, it's too late, they don't have this, they don't have that. And even not allowing themselves to be creative, creating a new path. Okay, you can't do that, but why can't you create a new path that's, bigger and better in your own thing? That's all mind work. So I'm warning you now. I'm warning you now, so you cannot say that you were not warned, that you're going to have to really step it up a couple of notches and really work on that internal stuff. The internal self-image stuff. Sometimes people are so sure that they are something that even try a different kind of career out, or try something that might be a little bit more numbers related or analytical, and they have the capacity to learn the skills, but they've convinced themselves, oh, I can't do that because I'm not good with numbers. Same thing with money. I know I'm just kind of like, beating a dead horse, but like the same thing is the situation with money. People who are like, I'm not good with money, they get money, and instead of thinking or really taking their time to say like, well, what is the most productive thing I can do with this money, they're like, oh, get it away from me. Because sometimes the struggle story is a part of a person's personality. Sometimes the hustle story is a part of a person's personality. I don't think anything's wrong with grit. I don't think anything is wrong with hustle. But this idea that you have to give up on your mental wellness and your emotional wellness in order to get somewhere, I think is kind of a toxic idea. I do believe there are times where you gotta put a lot of effort in, but that's sustained throughout an entire person's life. Then you get people who spent their whole life trying to build something up and then have no friends or no family connections, or have these weird situations in which their friends are highly dependent on what they can do for them, all that kind of stuff. No balance. Because most of the time, most people are just chasing 15 ideas when they only need one. And if you just focus on that one, you'll be good. You might be like, oh, well, how do I know what the one is? Whatever it is that is your passion, whether it is ups and downs, that's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Period. Period, period, period. That's it. But I find that having all of that excess time and not having something to fill it up leaves the mind feeling like, whoa, what's gonna happen, when in actuality it's just creating more space for you to live life. To really follow your passions and to enjoy your passions, to wake up and to look at it and not feel the pressure that it has to be instantly this or instantly that, but just allow it to free flow. Allow your creativity to connect into it. Allow it to be an expression of you. Everybody is creative. They're creative in different ways. Creativity looks like a whole lot of things. And because creativity looks like a whole lot of things, just allow yourself to take the pressure off. A lot of times I see people trying to live up to a standard that they perceive that society is putting on them, rather than just being to themselves. Because these people typically aren't even like afraid to do something. No, if a problem comes their way, they'll go hop into action. But it's that quiet time in the mind. That's really what that Mercury in a retrograde in Gemini is going to be reviewing. That quiet time. What do you say to yourself in those quiet moments? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every quiet moment has to be a situation where you're like, oh, hello you, again, you're fantastic, and da-da-da-da. No, it just could be like, are you creating a space where you're like, hey, do you want to try this today? Or, I think that I want this today, or something like that. Like actually having that kind of different energy that is connected into the experience. So, what is your path? And how are you going to do it? You got 24 hours in a day. Oh, great quote I heard. I've actually said it before. People overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Meaning, people take on these big initiatives and they want to get everything done in the day. And when that doesn't happen, they abandon that. And then they kind of just let go of the year, the week, the month, the quarter, and all of that kind of stuff. When it's just like, be a little bit more realistic, give yourself time for your happiness, your relaxation, your working hard, your time to spend with the people that you love, like all of that energy, and just energy, your that that flows within you. And so that's your lesson of the day. Again, let me put a caveat. Whenever we're talking about Orisha work, there are always going to be people who are taught in a particular way based off their lineage, and it's going to differ. So if you feel particularly attracted or pulled to one kind, then go towards that direction. Do some more research, do your work there, and understand that others are, floating about in different experiences too. Okay. So, as we go and we work with trusting ourselves, let's just do a collective sigh of relief, just a nice inhale and a nice exhale. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You can answer out loud or you can keep it inside. That is up to you. If you feel comfortable just saying it out loud or keeping it on the inside. Question number 1. The first question I have to ask you is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself? Whatever is your initial answer is a completely acceptable answer in the moment. Now, when you are going about your life and you're moving through the waves of life, you have to ask yourself, do you give yourself the benefit of the doubt? Do you give yourself the most confidence, the most trust in yourself? Do you? Okay. Oftentimes, what may happen is that as you go through life, you've learned things early on in that experience, and what you learned has been kind of unconsciously or subconsciously and consciously working about things. So if you happen to be a person who does a lot of self-sabotaging, or you kind of get this analysis paralysis, or any other collection of things, I would encourage you to look at the root. All of these issues are issues that have to do with self-trust, trusting yourself. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because as we move forward into this upcoming Mercury in retrograde in Gemini, it is all going to be about your sense of self-trust. The universe is going to give you opportunities to address that. The universe is going to reward you on those times that you actually built that nice self-trust during these times. But when we look at retrogrades, at the end of the day, they are always a positive thing. I know. We live such a fast life. We want everything to just be, why can't it be the way I want it to be? And once it's not the way I want it to be, it can be what I want it to be somewhere else. But a lot of times the universe will send you messages, send you understandings about yourself. And these retrograde periods are wonderful times to do that self-exploration. So do it. And just allow yourself to grow into that experience. If I could just provide a little bit of insight here. How were you taught when you were coming of age? trust yourself. You are pulling from these unconscious situations and thinking that that is, oh, a person like that, they trust themselves, they blah, 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 you know. That's just kind of one of many examples. Or you could see on another situation someone that you perceived as very, 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 very compassionate. Oh, they're such a compassionate person. They were always giving to others. They would not give to themselves so that others could have. But from an adult perspective, you can see now that that person really lacked boundaries. And because that person lacked boundaries, they may have not been able to live the life they wanted to. Yes, in the perception of whenever you learned it in the moment, you might have seen it as something different. Oh, that's a good quality, X, Y, and Z. But boundaries are important. Filling yourself up is important. If you want to do great work, you want to be able to give to others as long as you can, you have to fill yourself up. If you don't fill yourself up, you will be finite, just like the work that you're doing will be finite. So, in these moments, we're just going to take a couple of opportunities to deconstruct. Just those moments years before that are no longer serving or servicing you. Just those moments. Just those moments. You gotta let them go, let them go, let them go. Let them go, let them go, let them go. Let them go. Now, if there were some great examples that you have in your life, or if you were there in your life when you were younger and you could, lead yourself in the path that you need to, that would have been awesome, right? You can't cry over spilled milk, but I often say that time doesn't exist. Yes, there was a yesterday, and yes, there will be a tomorrow, but technically we only live in this moment. I've talked about it before in trauma. A lot of times when people go through traumatic situations, they might continue to relive that over and over again. So this one moment that was this finite amount of time then continues to last the entire lifetime as the person gets in the habit, in the reinforced habit, kind of really torturing themselves over and over and over again, not really knowing how to get out of that. Of course, there are great solutions or great ways to navigate that through mental and emotional health professionals, through really looking at your life and making some changes and things like that. But to bring it back to this concept of time that I'm talking about, it really doesn't exist. first time in your memory you can remember having this same kind of sentiment or same kind of outlook. Try to go as far back as you possibly can. That's the first time I thought this way, or that's the first time that kind of thing showed up. Go back to there. Now I want you to look at, why did you come to that conclusion at that time? Obviously, when you do things when you're younger, you just come to many kind of conclusions just because. But really, go back and ask yourself, why you came to that conclusion. Okay? And look at it from your adult eyes or your today eyes. What advice or what action or what thoughts or what experience would you have given if you know what you know now then? Seeing yourself, okay? Or at least whispering in your brain. I want you to tell yourself what is really the better thing to do, or as I like to say, what is the most highest vibrational thing that you could do in that moment. So as you're saying this, I want you to have that younger self, that younger energy, to have rebuttals, to say things back. Well, but all of those, you'll notice those sames like showing up in your life now. And as the younger self rebuttals, let the you now explain things. Hey, it's because of this, or you'll start to realize that those little pieces, little pieces that have been holding you back from what it is that you want, or creating these unnecessary roadblocks, are really quite simply just a reprogramming of what you perceived as important. So let's reprogram that. Let's reprogram that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this and do a little bit of that. And I encourage you to continue to have this conversation with yourself. Continue to speak sweetly and speak confidently with yourself. You know, you can't get it wrong, and you're the only person who really knows the whole story of your life. So you're the one that you should trust 100%. 100%. Also, family, if you are enjoying the session, please like. I appreciate that. And if you liked that brief conversation about the Orishan, or interested in more of these mystical concepts that show up, we definitely do this on the Patreon community, so feel free to join. Back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay. Let's move this out the way. Let's just create some room and we'll go a little bit slower. Just creating some room in our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, all of those things that we hold to be so very important. Allow them to take up more space. Allow them to have everything that is needed in the moment, and that you have everything you need, that you are well serviced in. lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So relax here. Connect. So I'm going to work on getting you in that really higher vibrational love state, and then we'll work through cleaning things out. As you know, I am paid in smiles. So pay up in the comment section with my smiles. If you're new, I'm cheesy, and I like to stay that way. So breathe in and out. Exhale. I'm like a mixture between like cheesy and serious, you know. I'm the fun mom, the cool mom. Y'all see Mean Girls? Sorry. Side note. Anyway, back to it. Just breathing through here. Exhaling and just feeling good within yourself, okay? Just feeling loved. And ideally, you want this love to come from self, like how you feel about yourself. Because we want to get you to a place of connecting with others with this good love, but it starts with yourself. You got to connect with good love within yourself first. Okay? Stop trying to find the love outside of you to validate the love within you. Validate the love within you, and then we work on the love outside of you. Okay? So breathing in and out. Exhale, release. Good job. Good job. I'm going to go in with some cinnamon and just, cleanse up a little bit. Break up a little bit of this energetically. This is my cinnamon. It is not a blunt. I've been telling y'all for a year that this is cinnamon. The kind that you cook with. Okay. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing, letting go. Cinnamon is excellent for grounding. It is excellent for a lot of root chakra work. And even though we have the heart chakra, makes complete sense. We want the love to be rooted in a firm foundation. Does that make sense? You don't want that, just come and go real quick type love, the highs and the lows type love. You want a stable, resilient, resistant, just great foundation of this beautiful love surrounding you at all times. And so let's just break through anything that may come up in the process that makes it difficult, okay? Just work through this, work through this, work through this, work through this, work through this. Good job. I say this all the time about cinnamon. I love it because it just keeps burning. And it reminds us that not everything is instant. Things take time. It takes time to grow. And it takes time to fall apart if it's a strong foundation. So you can go through life and go through some things and things will be okay. But it's the type of love that if you are not surrounded by that particular person at every moment, you feel like it's gonna just crumble from under you. Let it crumble. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. Also, stop giving people extra energy within you just because they're doing the bare minimum, okay? And you've had to deal with maybe things that were really just too much before. They're not great because they're doing the bare minimum. You deserve so much more, but it starts from working within yourself first, and that just comes with trust. You gotta trust yourself, baby. You gotta trust you're gonna be able to make the right decisions in love and loving yourself. Now you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself? Can you confidently look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, I love you. I love everything about you. I love the physical things about you, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the practical, the delusional parts. I love feel like you're not allowed to have that. A lot of people feel like they're not allowed to have it. They assume that their outside is what should be happening on their inside. So if you have dysfunction and chaos around you, you might feel that vibration flowing within you as well. And to that I would say you have to be able to separate yourself as you are removing yourself from that environment. Even if there's people in your life that you love to pieces, but hey, they're just a little bit too dysfunctional for you. Baby, you gotta learn how to let them go or have boundaries. Because that's the only way to truly attract what you're looking for in love. Okay, good job, good job, good job. And may I say that when you love yourself, that is the quickest way to find someone. People always are thinking like, how do I get this person to like me? Or how do I get back with somebody you have no business getting back with? And I always say, when you like yourself, you attract better quality people. It is those people that you have no business getting with or trying to go back to someone you ain't got no business going back to that keeps you in a vibrational state of thinking of yourself less. No, you want to be connected and surrounded by love that makes you think more. More peace, more calm, more love, more enjoying, more experiencing life. Because life itself isn't always about everything being easy and it just comes so easy. It's not that at all. But how are you even going to get to do the work in life if you're so busy, as my grandma used to say, chasing stupid? And stupid was typically a person you had no business chasing. You know, there's difficulty in life when you have to learn things like discipline, or you have to go after your dreams or goals. You don't have to do that in love. And there are some times when you need to have periods of separation from people so that you can realign yourself to what is good love. And when you stop chasing, it starts to flow into yourself. Feed yourself, build yourself up, okay? Breathing in and out here. Okay. So I'm going to start moving through your energy here. And just allow yourself to flow with it. And flow with yourself. Because now you're in a good enough state that you can just relax and trust that the love you have within is enough. Now let's go in and start to clean out all that old stuff. That stuff that's no longer serving you sweetness. First thing is, stop trying to attract the same type of people and calling it something new. Just because they're a little bit better than the other person you was with before, baby, let it go. We gonna take that away. You know, it comes from when you're growing up and you learn love and you think that that definition you learned has to be the end-all be-all definition of love. And if it's not a healthy example, which most of the time it is not, you get stuck, and just because something's familiar doesn't mean it's right. So you have to deconstruct that. So don't chase somebody, don't like ruminate. Ruminate means to obsess. Don't obsess over a person that you don't even know, because you've attached certain qualities that you think they're going to be so great. No, let somebody prove that to you, and then you connect in that kind of way, okay? So trust yourself that you're going to be able to decipher those situations. Then the next one Cathexis, Cathexis. And what it talks about is it's basically what a lot of people think love is, but it's almost like the obsession or the constant mental energy towards a person, an idea, a situation, but specifically in an unhealthy way. And we often think or have come to believe that love is hard, that love requires sacrifice, that love requires, working through ish. And honestly, that's not the type of sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice with, somebody cheating on you or you're cheating on them because you don't know what you want. You don't have to sacrifice with somebody being disrespectful to you or you're being disrespectful to them because they're not what you want. That's not love. That is cathexis. It's a word, and it's okay. It's okay to have that realization and start to make your movement into something better. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you feel like you're the villain or you're the victim in the situation. When you start to make changes, everything else shifts. I guarantee for a lot of people who maybe feel like they feel bad because they're like, oh, they wish that, maybe they feel like the villain. As soon as they start getting better, the person that they're with is so used to who they were that they're going to try to change roles. I mean, it's just like, it's toxic. It is what it is, and so sometimes you just gotta let it go. Just let it go. Let it go, release it, exhale and fill yourself up with all this love so that you can go back into love in a new way. Because if you hear anything that I say, hear this: love is not the person, it is the purpose. Love is not the person, it is the purpose. You may have had your interactions with people and it may have been love, but it wasn't the love that you're, looking for. That is okay. Don't associate the love with the person. It was the purpose. Did you learn what you needed from that? Did it serve its purpose? Now, when you're ready to move on to a better love, that love will probably come from another person because the purpose is different. The person will be different. It's okay. Love will come. Love will be there. Love will surround you. But it's not the person. It's the purpose. Connect with the purpose and allow yourself to be open to the right person flowing into your life. Okay? And don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a type. You like, this aesthetic, or you like someone who's like adventurous or something like that. That's fine. That's how you know like yourself. But ultimately, on a love level, they should make you feel healthy. It should be healthy things. Okay, so let's just align you here. Okay, and just move through this area of trust. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. And you got it. It's gonna be just fine. Well, family, you did an excellent job. And I hope you enjoyed this self-trust session. Continue to connect with yourself. Always trust your intention. Never abandon yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's fine. But don't abandon yourself and never trust someone else's intention more than your own. Okay? Final breath. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intention and validate information from our highest self only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So relax you know I am paid in smiles. So pay up in the comment section with my smiles. If you're new, I'm cheesy and I like to stay that way. So breathe in and out. Exhale. I'm like a mixture between like cheesy and serious, you know. I'm the fun mom, the cool mom. Y'all see Mean Girls? Sorry. Side note. Anyway, back to it. Just breathing through here. Exhaling and just feeling good within yourself, okay? Just feeling loved. And ideally, you want this love to come from self. Like how you feel about yourself. Because we want to get you to a place of connecting with others with this good love, but it starts with yourself. You got to connect with good love within yourself first. Okay? Stop trying to find the love outside of you to validate the love within you. Validate the love within you, and then we work on the love outside of you. Okay? So breathing in and out. Exhale, release. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna go in with some cinnamon and just, you know, cleanse up a little bit. Break up a little bit of this energetically. This is my cinnamon. It is not a blunt. I've been telling y'all for a year that this is cinnamon. The kind that you cook with. Okay. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing, letting go. Cinnamon is excellent for grounding. It is excellent for a lot of root chakra work. And even though we have the heart chakra, makes complete sense. We want the love to be rooted in a firm foundation. Does that make sense? You don't want that, you know, just come and go real quick type love, you know, the highs and the lows type love. You want a stable, resilient, resistant, just great foundation of this beautiful love surrounding you at all times. And so let's just break through anything that may come up in the process that makes it difficult, okay? Just work through this, work through this, work through this, work through this, work through this. Good job. I say this all the time about cinnamon. I love it because it just keeps burning. And it reminds us that not everything is instant. Things take time. It takes time to grow. And it takes time to fall apart if it's a strong foundation. So you can go through life and go through some things and things will be okay. But it's the type of love that if you are not surrounded by that particular person at every moment, you feel like it's gonna just crumble from under you. Let it crumble. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. Also, stop giving people extra energy within you just because they're doing the bare minimum, okay? And you've had to deal with maybe things that were really just too much before. They're not great because they're doing the bare minimum. You deserve so much more, but it starts from working within yourself first, and that just comes with trust. You gotta trust yourself, baby. You gotta trust you're gonna be able to make the right decisions in love and loving yourself. Now you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself? Can you confidently look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, I love you. I love everything about you. You know, I love the physical things about you, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the practical, the delusional parts. I love everything about you and truly mean it. Or do you feel like you're not allowed to have that? A lot of people feel like they're not allowed to have it. They assume that their outside is what should be happening on their inside. So if you have dysfunction and chaos around you, you might feel that vibration flowing within you as well. And to that I would say you have to be able to separate yourself as you are removing yourself from that environment. Even if there's people in your life that you love to pieces, but hey, they're just a little bit too dysfunctional for you. Baby, you gotta learn how to let them go or have boundaries. Because that's the only way to truly attract what you're looking for in love. Okay, good job, good job, good job. And may I say that when you love yourself, that is the quickest way to find someone. People always are thinking, like, how do I get this person to like me? Or how do I get back with somebody you have no business getting back with? And I always say, when you like yourself, you attract better quality people. It is those people that you have no business getting with or trying to go back to someone you ain't got no business going back to that keeps you in a vibrational state of thinking of yourself less. No, you want to be connected and surrounded by love that makes you think more. More peace, more calm, more love, more enjoy, more experiencing life. Because life itself isn't always about everything being easy and it just comes so easy. It's not that at all. But how are you even going to get to do the work in life if you're so busy, as my grandma used to say, chasing stupid? And stupid was typically a person you had no business chasing. You know, there's difficulty in life when you have to learn things like discipline, or you have to go after your dreams or goals. You don't have to do that in love. And there are some times when you need to have periods of separation from people so that you can realign yourself to what is good love. And when you stop chasing it, it starts to flow into yourself. Feed yourself, build yourself up, okay? Breathing in and out here. Okay. So I'm going to start moving through your energy here and just allow yourself to flow with it and flow with yourself, because now you're in a good enough state that you can just relax and trust that the love you have within is enough. Now let's go in and start to clean out all that old stuff, that stuff that's no longer serving you sweetness. First thing is, stop trying to attract the same type of people and calling it something new. Just because they're a little bit better than the other person you was with before, baby, let it go. We gonna take that away. You know, it comes from when you're growing up and you learn love and you think that that definition you learned has to be the end-all be-all definition of love. And if it's not a healthy example, which most of the time it is not, you get stuck, and just because something's familiar doesn't mean it's right. So you have to deconstruct that. So don't chase somebody, don't like ruminate. Ruminate means to obsess. Don't obsess over a person that you don't even know, because you've attached certain qualities that you think they're going to be so great. No, let somebody prove that to you, and then you connect in that kind of way, okay? So trust yourself that you're going to be able to decipher those situations. Then the next one is letting people go. I am the wrong person to talk to if you want to go back to the person that you've been struggling with for years. It works for some people, don't get me wrong, but like, look, life is too short for you to be making yourself so small in order to work through somebody else's shit. What you need to be doing is, you were born in this life to live out a very important purpose that probably has nothing to do with making somebody figure out their self-worth by pushing your self-worth down, okay? You have all these goals and gifts you have to share. You gotta get the distractions out the way, okay? So let that person go. If it's somebody that you've been dealing with for a long time, back and forth, and it's just not working, it's not going where you want it to go, let it go. skedaddle, okay? Or if you want to date or do whatever, have fun, but protect yourself. Be different when you approach love and trust your intuition. So many times we neglect the intuition that we have because we're looking at someone's potential rather than who they actually are. Believe them based off of who they are. Look at your own potential, because that's the only potential you can control. You can't control someone else's potential. Everybody has potential in everything, but you're hoping that that person grows into the person that you want them to be. Is that the person that they want to be? Let it go. A lot of times when you hold on to things you need to let go, it's more of an addiction and an obsession than it is of actual love. I actually learned this word. I'm reading in my personal book club, Bell Hooks, All About Love, and the word that's used is cathexis, cathexis, and what it talks about is it's basically what a lot of people think love is, but it's almost like the obsession or the constant mental energy towards a person, an idea, a situation, but specifically in an unhealthy way. And we often think or have come to believe that love is hard, that love requires sacrifice, that love requires, working through ish. And honestly, that's not the type of sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice with, somebody cheating on you or you're cheating on them because you don't know what you want. You don't have to sacrifice with somebody being disrespectful to you or you're being disrespectful to them because they're not what you want. That's not love. That is cathexis. It's a word, and it's okay. It's okay to have that realization and start to make your movement into something better. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you feel like you're the villain or you're the victim in the situation. When you start to make changes, everything else shifts. I guarantee for a lot of people who maybe feel like they feel bad because they're like, oh, they wish that, maybe they feel like the villain. As soon as they start getting better, the person that they're with is so used to who they were that they're going to try to change roles. I mean, it's just like, it's toxic. It is what it is, and so sometimes you just gotta let it go. Just let it go. Let it go, release it, exhale and fill yourself up with all this love so that you can go back into love in a new way. Because if you hear anything that I say, hear this: love is not the person, it is the purpose. Love is not the person, it is the purpose. You may have had your interactions with people and it may have been love, but it wasn't the love that you're, looking for. That is okay. Don't associate the love with the person. It was the purpose. Did you learn what you needed from that? Did it serve its purpose? Now, when you're ready to move on to a better love, that love will probably come from another person because the purpose is different. The person will be different. It's okay. Love will come. Love will be there. Love will surround you. But it's not the person. It's the purpose. Connect with the purpose and allow yourself to be open to the right person flowing into your life. Okay? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with having a type. You like, this aesthetic, or you like someone who's like adventurous or something like that. That's fine. That's how you, know, like yourself. But ultimately, on a love level, they should make you feel healthy. It should be healthy things. Okay, so let's just align you here. Okay, and just move through this area of trust. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. And you got it. It's gonna be just fine. Well, family, you did an excellent job. And I hope you enjoyed this self-trust session. just love all around you, trying to